let's get ourselves started by getting ourselves in a nice comfortable position. You can wiggle into your seat or however you do so. And then we can get started with some breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and relax it down there as you do so. And keep that breathing going. And whenever you're ready to, you can close down those eyes and bring the focus inwards into the breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And notice how that breathing affects you. Notice how the lungs inflate as you breathe in. Notice how when you breathe out, the shoulders relax down, or any other little things that you notice as you're doing this breathing. Just bring that focus inwards. And as you do so, you'll probably notice that your nervous system starts to relax. You feel a bit more comfortable in where you are. That's good. In this position, let's first of all thank ourselves for being here today. As always, turning up is the hardest step. Once we're here, we can get into a bit of a rhythm. But while we are here, let's remember to focus on today's session, all the breathing, the movement that we'll be doing, making sure that we are here in the moment and not worrying about what's come before us today, what's coming after the session, just focusing on this next hour here. Keep that breathing going, but let's sit up nice and tall as you're doing it. So flat back, shoulders back and looking up and forward slightly. And just keep that breathing going in a nice, good posture position here. As you breathe in, let's shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze them nice and tight. As you breathe out, relax them down. And you can start to open up those eyes if you want to. Just breathing in, shrugging up. Breathing out, relaxing down. Nice and controlled there. Squeeze those shoulders as you breathe in. Relax them down as you breathe out. So you're squeezing, getting all that tension. And then as you breathe out, you're just relaxing off. That's just going to help almost pump blood to this area, getting some, all the nutrients, all the oxygen, all that the muscles need. So when we start to do some more mobilizing stuff, it's got everything that it needs to do it safely and securely. Good. Let's do the same, but instead of going up and down, let's go forwards and back. So you squeeze the shoulder blades together as you come back. Push the shoulders forwards. And link the breathing in if you haven't already. So I like to breathe in as I pull those shoulder blades together and breathe out as I push forwards. Okay, let's start to bring them around in a circle now. Either direction, because we're swapping in a minute. So just get them going round, nice, gentle, easy movements here. Yeah, right. Nice, gentle movements going round. Right, let's change direction on it now, though. Let's go the opposite way. There you go. We're just gently mobilizing these shoulders, getting all the blood and nutrients, oxygen, everything that it needs. And we continue those shoulders going around in the same direction, but let's start to bring the hands onto the shoulders as you do so, and just bring them round in a circle. I want you to still do the shoulder circles as such. So it's not just going around using the elbows, but using the whole shoulder there as well, getting them going around the best you can. You've got a few options here. You can do a double arm like so. If that's tricky with the balance, you can do one arm and then the other arm if that's a bit easier for the balance. Or just find ways that work for you to get these going around. Opening up those shoulders just a little bit more. Yeah, let's change direction. Go the opposite way now. And again, we could do it double arm like so, or if it's easier, you can do one arm and then the other arm round. Yeah, let's increase those circles a little bit more by getting one arm going all the way around in a circle the best you can. Just nice, gentle movements here. Essentially, what we've done here is just gradually move that shoulder movement from nice, simple shoulder squeezes round to little circles, bigger circles. Now, full circles, getting good stretch as we go around with that arm. If you can't get the full circle, even if you can go and get a little bit, that's absolutely fine. Just wherever you can get to on this. Let's change direction and go the opposite way now. Good work. Start to feel it a little bit more with the stretch. Get a bigger circle. Let's change over to the other side and get that one going around as well. And let's change direction in the opposite way. Yeah, let's reach over to one side and then down and then over to the other side. So we're introducing some stretching now. We've got all the blood, the nutrients, the oxygen, everything that the muscles need. So now we can start to introduce a nice little bit of stretching. Just going back and forth here. And now the muscles here are more warmed up, they're more receptive to stretching, so we can actually get a little bit more from it. So maybe a little bit more range of motion or just a little bit more stability in the joint. Essentially, the muscles there have got what they need to have a better chance of getting a better stretch. Yeah, then when you find yourself leaning over to one side, let's just hold it there for a bit. And we're going to roughly be here for about 30 seconds. Feel that stretch. Maybe you would go a little bit further if you can. About 10 more seconds here. Ease out a bit. Let's do a couple of over to one side and then the other, back and forth. And then let's go over to the other side and then hold it there. If you can't hold your arm up above the head here, we can always bring it forwards a little bit more. If you need some balance, you can always lean on something. Oh, there's a chair. You've got a desk or something in front of you. You can always lean on that. Just holding it there. And again, roughly 30 seconds. If it's too much to hold, you can back out of it, back into it. About 10 more seconds. Ease out a bit there. Good. Okay, we'll do a couple just side to side just to bring it out a little bit. And then let's go into going forwards with both hands and then bring it back, stretching it out. So reach forwards, feel the stretch around the back and then bring it back. If you're like me and you struggle to put both hands forwards without falling forwards, you can do it one arm and then bring them both back. That just works just a little bit easier for me to focus on it. And as you reach forwards, we need to feel that stretch across the back of the shoulder there. And as you come back, feel the stretch across the chest there. Excellent work, everybody. Feel that stretch in both directions. Put it there. Stretch across the chest. As you reach forward, stretch across the back. Whether you're doing one or both arms forwards, that is as well. Good. And the next one we do is elbows up or down, depending on how comfortable position you are. We can rotate them back and then rotate them forwards. And I'll show you from here as well. So to rotate them back, rotate them forwards. You'll probably feel a bit more of a stretch on the rotating back part than you will on the rotating forwards, but we're stretching our rotator cuff muscles here. And if it's too much to hold your arms up and do this, you can keep your elbows in by the side and go back and forth, like I say. So that's option 2 if it's too much to hold those arms up. Okay, relax out of there. Let's go back to some shoulder rotations just to go around. And round in the opposite direction. Good, you can give that a little bit of a shake out there if you need to. Let's move on to mobilizing our spine now. We're going to go through our neck first of all. We all know this drill here, looking up, looking down, nice and gentle back and forth between the two. Nice, easy movements. And let it flow, nice, gentle, controlled movements. Looking up, looking down, trying to curl into each position as well, not just fold into it. So curl your neck down, curl it back up again, almost like your neck is a slinky rather than just like a door hinge that's curling over. Let's go into some rotation, looking left, looking right, going back and forth between the two. Bring one ear to one shoulder, one into the other shoulder, and again back and forth between the two. This one for me is particularly stiff at the moment when I lean it left ear to left shoulder. Okay, the next one we're going to do, we haven't done it in a while here, but we're just going to almost imagine you've got a pen on the end of your nose and you've got a bit of paper in front of you, maybe A4, A3 size, so in front of you. And what you're going to do is draw a spiral with the pen on the end of your nose on the big piece of paper in front of you. So starting small and getting gradually bigger and bigger as you do this spiral. When you reach the where you think is the outside of your paper, you can bring it back in, wherever that is. And then once you bring it back in again, change the direction and then go the opposite way. I'm going to let you go at your own pace for this. So it's spiral with the nose, bigger and bigger and bigger till you reach the outside of your paper that you're drawing on with your nose pen. And then come smaller and smaller once you come back into the middle. Then change direction and go the opposite way. So it starts off nice, gentle, easy little movements. And then it gets bigger and bigger as you go. Bigger spirals. Just keep going back and forth between the two directions. Try and keep these nice fluid movements. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to go fluid with it. You can feel like you're going off all over the place, but just try and stay focused with it. Nice, easy, gentle movements. So if you feel dizzy at any point as well, of course, feel free to pause. Okay, the next one we're going to do here is slightly different. So what we're going to do is look over to the left, and then from there we're going to look up, and then look down, and go back and forth between looking up and looking down whilst we're looking to the left. Let's look over to the right and do the same. Looking down, looking up. And then back over to the left again. And do the same again. Looking up and down. And back over to the other side, up and down. Good, easing out a bit there. Let's go into the rest of our spine now. So we're going to come through some extension and then some flexion. I'll turn to the side. That's coming through there. Curling like a prawn, arching like a high jumper. And whilst you're doing that, nature's calling me. So I'll be back in a second. Good work, everybody. Sorry about that delay there. And we will move on to some rotation next. So rotate round to one side, round to the other side, and back and forth between the two. They're nice, gentle, easy movements. And when we find ourselves looking to the left side, let's just hold it there for a bit and breathe into it a bit. If you see whilst I'm doing it, just nice stretch here, just breathe into it, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you do, you'll notice that you can, as you breathe out, you can maybe rotate a little bit further, but as you breathe in, it wants to pull you back round a bit. And that's fine, just go with that rhythm. Let's ease out of it. Go back and forth between one side and the other. And then whenever you're ready to, we can go into the other side and then again, hold it there, stretch. And again, breathe into it here. Ease out a bit there. Then we go into some lateral flexion, going down to one side, down to the other, back and forth between the two. Good, nice easy movements as always, under controlled. And then let's go into our whirlpool now. So let's come round in a circle, nice gentle movements. Let's change direction. Ease out of it there. And we've had a quick little hydration break before we move on to the next bit. Just wait for everybody to finish there. And then we will go on to some of our Tai Chi like movements today. So just get yourself in a nice comfortable position. Let's just start off by relaxing ourselves down first of all, setting our mindset in the right place. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just relax into where you're seated. Bring that focus back to the session after our little break. When we're ready to, we can start to glide the hands up to our eye level and then glide them back down again. Yeah, let's add in some of the sideways direction. So we're going to come up to one side, back down, then up to the middle, and back down, and then up to the other side, back down, and then back to the middle. So you go back and forth between the two, adding in the middle ones in between. So up to the left, to the middle, to the right, to the middle, to the left again. Repeating through. Keep going that at your own pace. Thinking you're breathing in with it if you want to. Okay, next one we're going to do is we're going to come up to the front and then back down. We're going to come up to the left. Then we're going to glide one, switch, two, switch, three, and then going to come back down to this side. And then we're going to come back up that same side we came down, coming up, form the hands, glide one, glide two, and glide three. Coming back down to the left side and back up the left side. Left hand drops down, right hand stays up as we glide across one, switching, two, switching, three, back down to the right side, back up the right side, left hand drops down, right arm stays up, going one, two, and three. Left side we come down, back up, left arm drops down, going one, two, three, and then continue at your own pace. So coming down, and then one, two, three, down, and then back up, one, two, three, and then down the other side. So in your own time and your pace. With this movement, we're not, so continue still at your own pace. We're learning to control our breath and our movement, but we're also holding our body positions at the same time in different positions. And that just helps us to have good control over our core function. That's going to help us in a multitude of ways. Okay, so for the next one, keep that going, but what we do is to slow it right the way down. So as you come up one, really slow, controlled movements as you come across, really slow. That's really going to test your balance there as you do it. You really slow it down. Take whichever one you're on there, the last one. Good. Let's bring it back to the normal ones here. So that's where we're going to come up to the front, back down, up to the left, and then we're going to glide 1, 2, 3. Keep the left hand low here. Right arm going to come round. Yeah, step forwards, not really step forwards, get blinded, and then turned into stone. Okay, that's the story as such. We'll go back from the beginning. So you come up to the front, down, up to the left, glide 1, 2, 3. Left hand stays down. We're going to come back with one hand. Going to come up and around, cover the eyes with the arm, and then down into that. Good. Okay, we're going to do the same, but we're going to do the opposite side now. So we're going to come up to the front, and then back down. Then we're going to come up to the right. Right arm drops down, left arm comes across. 1, 2, and then 3. The right arm stays down there. Left arm comes behind, comes forwards, covers the eyes, and then down into one hand on top of the other. Good. Back to the beginning. Back to the first side again. Up to the front. Down. Up to the left. Left hand drops. We glide 1. We glide 2. We glide 3. Left hand stays there at the bottom. Right hand comes behind us. Comes in front. Covers the eyes. And then down. Very good. And again, up to the front. Down, up to the right this time. Right arm comes down, left arm stays up, so we drift 1, 2, 3. Right arm stays low, arm comes behind us, comes up, covers the eyes, and then down into stone. Good. Let's move to the next bit, which is kind of tricky with the core if you haven't got a great core, but we're going to try our best here. We are going to almost imagine like we're hanging up some washing. So we have one hand up here, you bring the other hand to it, then you trace it over to the other side. This arm now comes over to this side, and then back again. And now this arm comes over to this one, and then back again. And almost like you're hanging up some washing. And this one can be tricky on the core, tricky on the shoulders, as well as linking the breathing with the smooth movement. So if you need to take any break at any point and then come back into it, that's absolutely fine to do so. But try and do as much as you can, holding it there as well as you can. Relax out of it there. Okay, we're start to bring it in towards the end of the session. That flew today. And we've got 10 more minutes here. We're going to do some meditation work. So let's have a drink before we do so. Mainly so I can talk. And yeah, we'll relax it down. So once you've had your drink, get yourself in a nice comfortable position. Start with some breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then when you're ready to, you can close down those eyes and bring the focus inwards. So just focus on the breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth to start with. Good. So we are going to go into our beach meditation. This is where we picture the scene of the beach, and I will guide you through this to help you really get a good image in your mind. And yeah, hopefully that's going to help us to relax and to feel calm in the moment. So focus on your breathing still to begin with, but as you do, start to open up your mind's eye, almost like you're opening your mind, open up your real eyes, but in your mind onto a scene of a beach. And it may be one that you know, maybe one that you don't know, but just start to envelop the scene of how that beach looks, imagining the sky, the beach, if there's any boardwalk or any trees or whatever it may be on the back of the beach. You see the sea. First of all, let's focus on those big parts, the sand, the sky, the sea, the rest of the scenery. And let's start to really build up the colors, build up how the light is, build up how things are moving with the sea. Is it nice, gentle, rippling waves, for example, or is it bigger, surfable waves, for example? Are there rocks in the ocean that are getting crashed into slightly? Start to add more detail as well. Maybe there's footprints in the sand. Maybe there's other people there or not. That's up to you. Maybe there's scenes of where people have been, even maybe some buckets and spades, some sort of sandcastles. Whatever it may be, just start to add more detail, maybe noticing the boardwalk if you have one in your scene. Maybe there's people walking along it, maybe there's shops, maybe there's trees, maybe there's plants, ice cream stalls, whatever it may be. Just start to picture it up and get a good image of in your mind of how it looks to you. And the sky as well, noticing the sun in the sky, noticing any clouds there may or may not be. Really notice the colors as well, how deep or how shimmering the colors are, how reflective they are, whatever it may be. Just notice all the colors, how the light interacts with it, and just build up that mind's eye image of your scene here. And now we've got a bit of a good understanding of our scene, hopefully. Let's start to bring in some of the other senses as well. And seeing as we're at the beach, hopefully it's a little bit warm, so we can start to imagine what that warmth feels like and let it wash over your body as you do so. Just feel the sun warming up you and just giving you the vitamin D, giving you the sun, giving you everything that it can provide for you. And then as you start to warm up, let's start to introduce some of the sounds of the sea as well. Maybe some birds, maybe some chatter from people, but just start to build up how the beach sounds. Linking it with all the things that we've already filled the scene with. Maybe there's some birds chirping, the sea gently crashing against the beach. And let's start to gain a little bit of a smell now. Maybe that's salty air from the sea. Maybe you can smell the ice cream from the stall nearby, whatever it may be. Just start to build up a bit of a palette within your nose of how things start to smell. And then let's introduce the touch as well. So you can either imagine you've got the sand running through your fingers, or if you want to imagine it going through your toes, even however you want to imagine it, just imagining the sand or putting your hand in the sea, imagining how that would feel, maybe a bit cooler, from the wet from the water, just noticing how these things feel. It's all about just creating that space, nice, relaxing, calming environment. Yeah, let's slowly but surely start to close down that seam. So bringing everything down into your focus in your breathing again. Let's continue in through the nose, out through the mouth, relaxing down where you are. Just noticing this moment before we end today's session, just how relaxed you feel after that and how it's affected your nervous system. And just remembering that's something that you can do at any time just to bring yourself in a calm, relaxed state. Just take yourself to that scene, the beach scene or the forest scene that we've done in the past, and it can help you to relax there. But seeing as we've got our eyes closed and we're here, let's thank ourselves for being here today, for staying focused throughout the session, for doing all the movements that we needed to do, and as always, turning up on a nice consistent basis to benefit ourselves and our own mental and physical well-being. So give yourself thanks for that. As we start to open up your eyes, you can bring yourself back to the room. We are done there for today's session.